Hey everyone, it's Soul Tribe Huddle, my favorite time of the week. Love Huddle. Love catching up with you all. But tonight we have a treat because we have our beautiful partner of the month, Jazmine, who's going to be sharing. I'm going to be asking you heaps of questions, Jazmine. I'm just going to spotlight you, honey, because you are a little rock star. I just want to introduce Jazmine as much as I can, even though I haven't known you for very long, honey. So Jazmine got Partner of the Month basically because she has been in action the whole time since she started. Despite things in her personal life that went a bit pear-shaped, she was still posting beautifully, and I think that was one of the things that really stood out about you was your beautiful posting every time, adding value to people's lives somehow, just in your most authentic way. And that's what I do love about you and what you bring to this business, but also your interpersonal skills, how you talk with people. You know, you're a natural, and I just feel like you've just come into this with a beautiful organic way of being and relationship building. So I really I would love for you to share, because none of us have heard your story yet. None of us have been blessed. We haven't managed to get you on one of our events yet to share. So you've got the spotlight now. I would love you to share, honey, why it is that you said yes to this business. Now you are muted, so you'll need to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Hi.
Hi.
Alrighty. So I kind of just happened to be in the right place at the right time. I think when I came across this business through Maxine. Physically, I've always been in top shape. I'm quite athletic naturally, but my kryptonite is probably my mental health. And so I come from quite a dark background, and holistic health is something that I've always dabbled in as a part of my own healing journey, I guess. And I understand the correlation between nutrition and mental health. Curious about the products. Products aside, I'd say that the aspects that I was drawn to in terms of the business, we've been able to work remotely. It was quite important to me to work towards creating, setting myself up in the future to not have to be locked into a physical location or set hours. I'm just a person that doesn't really like being confined or told where to be and what to do. And so I figured I need to work towards becoming my own boss somehow, which is where I started looking at more entrepreneurial outlets, I guess. Maybe the second aspect I was drawn was the uncapped potential to earn money. Like I do not like the trade-off of an hour of my life for $20-something. I just felt like I deserve more than that. And I work in the hourly job, so I felt like it was a poor trade-off, having to invest more time to try and make some more money. I just felt like I was too smart to be working like a donkey, maybe.
100%. Absolutely.
And maybe I work in hospitality. I've worked in hospitality for 11 years. And it's very unsatisfying and unfulfilling on a soul level. Like people say jump, and I say how high. And I run around all day after other people without breaks or meals myself. And I just felt like I was violating my soul after a while, putting other people's needs above my own, where I felt like just a cog in the machine. And I started to recognize that it was not so healthy, and that appreciation and community and purpose were actually quite important values to me. And I sat on the fence for several months about joining Juice Plus, but once this COVID-19 situation hit, then I felt the pressure to open my capacity to create another means of taking care of my family financially and in terms of health, which is why I finally made the decision to get on board, I guess.
And we're so happy you did. We really are. We're so blessed to have you, honey. I know Maxine's asked a question. Are you an Aquarius?
I'm a Virgo.
Oh, that's why you took a little bit of time.
Yeah.
My husband's one of those. He takes a bit of time.
Yeah.
That's great. I do love that. And I love that the other thing that I love about you is that you're so young and you're so sure in what it is that you want to do. You're so, clear around stepping outside of the norm, stepping outside of that social norm box that most young people tend to, follow what everyone else is doing, but you're actually stepping out of that, which I really love. Love that. It's just amazing. So, being really new, did you ever feel at any time overwhelmed when you first started?
Yeah.
And how
Definitely.
did you manage that?
Just took it one day at a time, I guess. I was definitely overwhelmed. There are a lot of groups. I was getting tagged in a lot of things. Just trying to wrap my head around the product still. Even just posting. I was not active on social media before this. The last time I posted was 2017 on Instagram. So yeah, I was quite overwhelmed in the beginning, but fortunately I just reached out to Maxine when I was stumped, I guess.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, is that what would you tell anyone who's feeling overwhelmed? Because we obviously have a lot of new team. What would you say to them if they're feeling overwhelmed?
To ask for help when you need it, and to be easy on yourself. Maybe just I felt like my expectations are quite hard and quite high. So to just have a bit of compassion for yourself and just take it as it comes. Like it's a learning curve, and you get there eventually.
Yeah, you sound like me. I just put a post up yesterday. I don't know you saw it about my high expectations and having compassion for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's for me. It's like an extreme perfectionism that I have to keep in check.
Yeah, and really important to take time out for yourself. I mean, that's something that I find really hard to do, so I have to make myself do it. Yeah. So I did hear you say before about how you weren't really posting on social media.
No.
Like the last time was 2017. That's crazy.
Yeah.
One of the things I love about you is your posting. It's just beautiful and authentic, and it's every day. So were you challenged doing that, stepping back into posting?
Yes, I actually asked Maxine if I could just create a new profile, and I kind of wanted to add the people I felt comfortable with, because I did have a career in commercial skydiving, but I kind of snuck out the back door and didn't really tell anyone that I left, and I'd come back home and was working in hospo again, and I felt super insecure, kind of embarrassed about my peers knowing that I was working in hospo and had taken a step out. So that's why I wasn't posting on social media at all. I was kind of hiding out, so to speak. Yeah. Yeah, because I knew my peers would be surprised that I had left.
Yeah. So you actually started a whole new profile. Is that what you did?
No, I didn't. I ended up keeping my profile, but I wanted to.
So how have you found that then, stepping back into posting as much as you do? Have you found it relatively easy to do? Does it feel like it comes naturally?
Not in the beginning, but I've just tried to maintain being consistent. So it doesn't affect me too much anymore, but I've definitely had a mixed response from my peers. So
And how are you finding that?
I have a lot of support, but I was super surprised that I actually had a handful of people who, who were really not that pleased with what I was doing, and had some quite negative things to say, which was very upsetting, but a learning curve again.
It is very upsetting.
Yeah.
And I can honestly say that I think probably everybody on this call and everybody in the business get negativity at some point, and it's usually in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because you're stepping outside of your comfort zone, you're doing something that they're not used to seeing. They're expecting you to be a certain way, and when you step out of that, they find it really difficult, especially people who really love us.
Yeah.
They get scared. So yeah, but good on you for keep going. And I mean, how did you manage that when you had those negative comments?
I'm just taking it day by day, really. I think some of the most hurtful ones were from some family members, actually. Yeah. But it's actually become a bit of a driving force for me now, because I feel like now I have to be successful, and now I have to do well and kind of shove it in their face.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, so
You know what they say? The biggest revenge is success. Love it.
yeah. So I was initially quite upset, but I mean, I put it down to the fact that I'm outgrowing some people, and I'm not everyone is going to come along to the finish line with me. So that's okay.
Love that. That's so true. Like Maxine says, off with their heads. I love it, Maxine. Oh, that's funny. So tell us, do you have any tips for anyone who's not so good at posting or a little bit afraid of it? Is there anything you want to share since you're so good at it?
I don't know. I just try to be consistent. I just try to add as much value as I can. I just tend to focus on things that I already incorporate in my life as well. So if I'm meditating, or like I do belly dancing or something, then I just kind of share what I use in my own healing journey, I guess, and just kind of express it more like a diary, I guess, that for others to see, good and bad.
Love that, like a diary. That's fantastic. So it's like a story of your life. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. So it's like a big Facebook story over, forever.
I think so.
It is really lovely. Yeah, and it's true. Maxine says here, your posts are so wonderfully authentic, Jazmine, and that's what I love about them, is you can see who you are through your posts.
Yeah.
You can see clearly because you're not afraid to share yourself and your life and what it is you're doing and what do you love, what you value, and that's so important. So I do love that, definitely. So Jazmine, tell me, what has been the most helpful thing that you think that you've had since you started? What's been the most helpful to you in this business?
I think for me, it's probably community at the moment, with things like the negative feedback from some family, friends, the breakdown of like my relationship as well during the lockdown. And I've been on my own for the past few weeks. And so I think that's probably the best part for me, is feeling like I'm supported, or feeling like I have like-minded individuals around me. And yeah, I think it's probably community for me, because I know that I'm surrounded by people who are my level and above, and that's like a safety net for me, knowing that I can only go higher, rather than being surrounded with people that are just going nowhere.
Yes,
Yeah.
love it. Vibe with your tribe.
Yeah.
Love it. It's so true. So in terms of, for all the newbies that are starting at the moment, if they were feeling challenged, what would you say to them?
I think just take everything with a grain of salt, maybe. Like, and listen to your own intuition, your own voice first. And I think if you are really challenged, just reach out. I think that's been my biggest thing, is actually reaching out for help when I need it, and support as well. Because usually all my problems, once I just get it off my chest, and then I usually have someone that steps in to help with the load, and then after that I'm usually quite clear, and I have my confidence back, and I feel supported, and I make the right decisions going forward.
Right. So you talk a lot about that support and reaching out too. So you feel that asking for help would be helpful too.
Yeah, that's something for me, because I tend to I'll do it on my own. I'll figure it out myself. I'm quite strong-headed like that, so that's been a big learning curve for me, is to reach out to those around you. You don't have to do things alone.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a whole community. We've all got each other's backs, and that's something that I had to learn as well, Jazmine. So I do relate to that, as learning, as becoming a student, becoming a full-time student in this business. Is that, even though we feel like we do know everything and that we are independent, we still need to learn from other people. So it's life, isn't it? We're always going to be learning from other people. So and it is something that I see about you, is that you are incredibly teachable. So it's interesting that you find that part difficult, because you've shown yourself as being very teachable. I mean, the fact that you didn't create a whole new profile, I mean, that's huge. Having to start all over again. So has anybody got any questions for Jazmine? I'm just going to read some of these comments. I don't know, have you been reading these comments, Jazmine?
No, I'm too nervous.
Oh, look at them. Oh, you're too nervous. You're doing so well. Look at this. I feel for you. Virgos are perfectionists. They so are, Max.
Yeah.
I feel for you, Jazmine. You're not alone. Got that right up front also. Yes, had all the negs. Yes, we've had them all. Oh, yes. Stick it to them, Jazmine. You're a wise soul.
Yeah.
Sending you love and hugs. So true, Jazmine. Surrounded by inspiring people. You are gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I'm sharing this with all my team. I love it. That's great. So anyone else got any questions for Jazmine? You can come off mute if you want to ask her anything. Otherwise, I just want to say a big thank you to you, beautiful. It's really lovely having you share on here, and how brave you are to actually be on here, because I know you seemed a bit nervous.
Yes, my voice was shaking.
You did so well. Didn't you do well, ladies? Did amazing. Absolutely. Do you want to say something?
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
So, Jazmine, how did you handle your negative family members in the end?
It's quite sad, because they're estranged family members. Like, my parents divorced 20 years ago, so I have my mom, my stepdad, and my siblings. That's all. And I had estranged family members showing a lot of love on my page initially, and being super interested in the products. And I thought they wanted to reestablish relationships with me. And I also genuinely wanted to help them health-wise, because they're really not in a good place. But it turns out that they're not that happy for my success. Actually, there was a lot of just negative chatter about what I'm doing, and so I initially was going to block them all, but I decided they can look at my stuff and cry.
I love it. That's awesome.
So
Right.
yeah,
That's what I do too. I just leave them all on there.
yeah.
That is brilliant. I
That's
love that
sad.
attitude. That is such a good attitude.
But also, you know, what you said, they're all in a bad place. That's all.
Yeah,
That's the reality. You're never going to be criticized by someone who's doing better than you are.
yeah. They're very jealous.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
It's their stuff.
And the thing is, what happens is once you actually, you know, your frequency is increasing,
yeah,
because you're doing what you love, you're in your heart, you're following your passion, right?
yeah,
They actually will get to the point where they won't even see your stuff because they're
yeah,
not in the right place as you. They're not knowing your feelings.
yeah.
So yeah. Who's that being noisy? Tammy. Just muted you, Tammy. So, any other questions? Revenge is the best. Yeah, revenge is the answer for success. Is the answer for revenge, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I know Maxine's proud of you. She speaks so highly of you all the time. So, yeah.
Oh, you make me. Your posts are amazing. They make me feel like I need to up my game, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank
So if
you.
anybody hasn't seen Jazmine's profile before, go and have a wee squizzy.
I will.
Yeah. Good on you, Melissa.
Don't stalk her on Facebook. And
Yeah, go and
just
stalk her.
learn.
Just don't steal her posts,
It's okay.
Only be inspired.
but definitely be inspired by her. Definitely. You remember you want to be yourself. So that's really
But
important.
yeah, do reach out, Jazmine, if you do have a tendency to kind of do it all on your own. It's hard in this business if you do that.
Mm,
It's a lot harder.
The people who do well stay close to the fire. That's what we say.
mm,
And it's really true. It's really true.
And you know, you talk about that strength, and the good part of this business is being the community. We're absolutely here for you, honey. All of us,
thank you.
not just Maxine and
Yeah,
I, but the whole
yeah.
team are here for you. So
Yep.
every
Yeah.
time you're not alone. And
Thank you.
for the most part, we've all been through it. I don't
Mm,
speak to a lot of my family. They don't want anything to do with me. So I've been through a very similar thing with all of them. None of them are
Yeah.
supporting me, especially my mum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, honey, for sharing. It's been really lovely having you on tonight.
Thank you.
And congratulations.